This episode of the Disruptor Journals is brought to you by Apex Commerce Partners.
Today, we are diving deep into a cognitive bias that affects decision making, and it's called the Conjunctive Fallacy. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is the Conjunctive Fallacy and how does it impact business leaders and startup founders, since that's all we talk about here? So let's get right into it. The conjunctive fallacy occurs when people think that specific conditions are more likely to occur together than the general conditions alone. There are many experiments about this online, please Google it. It's a cognitive shortcut that can lead us astray in our decision-making process, and unfortunately, it's a pitfall that many business leaders and founders stumble into. For instance, let's consider hiring decisions. A startup founder might fall victim to the conjunctive fallacy when evaluating potential candidates. So they may prioritize specific qualities or experiences, and in doing so, unintentionally neglect the broader picture. This can result in hiring decisions that are skewed and miss out on well-rounded individuals who could contribute significantly to the company. So, how does this affect business strategy? Imagine a scenario where a leader is evaluating potential markets for expansion. If they focus too much on specific factors and neglect the broader economic landscape, they might make decisions that seem logical in isolation but are flawed when considering the bigger picture. This can lead to missed opportunities or misguided strategies. Startup founders often face challenges in resource allocation, and when grappling with limited resources, the conjunctive fallacy might push them to overemphasize certain aspects of their business plan, ignoring the overall viability of it. So this tunnel vision can hinder adaptability, a crucial trait for navigating the unpredictable nature of the business world. The conjunctive fallacy serves as a reminder for business leaders and startup founders to constantly reassess their decision-making process, which is why I'm bringing awareness to this whole thing, because you see a lot of these things happening, and the lack of awareness for me is the first thing, especially in first-time founders. So it's about zooming out, considering the broader context, and recognizing that individual factors should not overshadow the comprehensive view of a situation. So a few strategies that I've tried to mitigate the conjunctive fallacy in my own decision-making. The first, diversity in decision-making. I try to ensure that my decision-making team represents diverse perspectives and experiences to counteract potential biases. I never make important decisions alone. Yes, I'll have the final say, but I'll ensure that all perspectives are represented in the room to allow me to consider and to zoom out, like I mentioned earlier. The second thing is I always try to make a holistic evaluation. So when I'm evaluating candidates, business strategies, or any decision, I consider the whole picture rather than fixating on specific aspects, because I'm human after all. I'll have biases. And the third thing, which might be the most important, is feedback mechanisms. Establish feedback loops within your organization and encourage open communication to identify and rectify decisions influenced by the conjunctive fallacy. So as we wrap up, remember that awareness is the first step towards improvement. And by understanding the conjunctive fallacy and actively working to counteract it, founders and leaders can make more informed decisions that contribute to the long-term success of their ventures.
This episode of the Disruptor Journals is brought to you by Apex Commerce Partners.